I didn't enter college thinking that I was going to study cities per se, but gradually I realized that a lot of my interest in politics and in these other kinds of questions were all kind of focused on places. My name is Patrick Cooper McCann, I go by Cooper, and I'm an assistant professor of urban studies and planning. My interest in urban planning actually came out of my interest in Detroit, more broadly trying to make sense of the patterns of inequality that I saw, the abandonment, the culturally exciting things, but also the challenges that you see. I studied at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, both for urban planning and a PhD in urban planning. And my research is focused not just on Detroit, but on kind of legacy cities, more broadly speaking. Places like St. Louis, Cleveland, Youngstown. I do research on neighborhood revitalization and kind of like the broader question about how to do equitable redevelopment. And then I also do research on parks and public spaces and how they're financed and who they're for. For the dissertation, I observed how government is changing. So the proliferation of private-public authorities, privatization, outsourcing of various services, as well as shifting things to other levels of government, like the state taking over the schools. And I decided to focus on the park system. What could we say about how parks have changed and how is it different than the way they used to be? So I ended up writing a history of Detroit's park and recreation system back to the 1800s. And I looked at kind of 5 different time periods and the role that businesses, community organizations, and philanthropists and various levels of government played in providing different kinds of public spaces and who had access to them. So it's sort of a history of social and racial inequality in Detroit, and it's a history of the local state, and it's a history of the park system. Urban planning, broadly considered, has a big role to play in producing more equitable outcomes and better kind of policy making in general that considers the kind of distributional impact of how we make decisions, like who we offer tax incentives to and in what circumstances, or which kinds of businesses we prioritize funding. Do I think that Detroit has experienced equitable economic development?